Can you state your name for me?
Nkessa Williams Hayes.
Okay. And how did you meet Andre Vann?
How did I meet Andre Vann? So I think I remember in October 2021, I was in a group called Save Our Children,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was run by Joe Hayes and uh, a lady called Meghan Walsh reached out to me on in Facebook asking me to buy some products and basically saying that she wanted me to be one of the representatives for Masoka, which is Make Our Children Safe Again. And it had, I think her children were being taken by her father at the time, and she wanted people to help her out. And so I decided, yeah, why not? I love the children. But little did I know that it was actually Andre Vann. So Andre Vann had been speaking to me as Meghan Walsh. He had a lady, 70-year-old lady called Juanita McDonald. She owns J Mac Enterprises and she does all his music, phony music. Work with him, and basically they entrapped me for 6 months. So they started with saying they had this book they were going to sell. They had this, her story was going to sell because her father was taking her children at the time, and I believed it. So he just started asking me for money to help with the children so that she doesn't lose custody. But it was Andre Vann impersonating Meghan. I think that he kind of sensed I might be someone with money because I told him I was a nurse. He kind of asked me, well, Meghan, which was actually Andre, was asking me questions. And I think how he got me was basically talking about my grandmother's children, and that's how he won me emotionally. My grandmother lives in Nigeria and she has 40 children she takes care of at this present time. She has fostered over 300 children since 1980 and she's 100 years old. So he pretty much used that story to pull out my heartstrings. So I think the first thing I did was donate money. I think it was $5,000 to $10,000. Don't quote me, but after that, I think him and Juanita just went into overdrive. I would help, and he started with little monies like 2,000, and then we have Juanita, 70-year-old, also buying my trust. But all I can say, within 3 weeks, Meghan Walsh had taken more than $100 and something thousand from me, with a promise to pay me October 31st of 2021. Meghan started talking about this guy called Geppetto Jackson, excessively sending me his music, saying he was Jermaine Jackson's son, and Whitney Houston's love child, and just overly obsessed with him, and said, "Do you like him?" And I said, "No, I'm not interested." But kind of introduced me to him as a friend and said he was her support system, and him and Juanita were taking care of her. And Juanita was a rich black woman who had about 40 houses, and basically Andre brought her into the Black Muslim Brotherhood, and they were taking care of her because she was very scared of her father and what he could do to her. So within 3 weeks, it was always I'm meeting producers, we need this amount of money. So basically when October 31st came and I said, this is it, I'm not giving you any more money, this character, Meghan Walsh, suddenly became suicidal and said she's pregnant for Andre Vann, which is Geppetto Jackson. And it just took me by surprise, and from there on I got a phone call immediately from Andre Vann, Geppetto Jackson, coming in to say he wanted to take care of things and basically get me all my money back.
Okay, so now at this point, you know that you're dealing directly with Geppetto.
Yes, I do.
Or Andre,
yes.
for lack of better, yeah. And so now that he's no longer pretending to be Meghan, what's the relationship?
Yes, so that's when he told me directly. He says, hey, what's going on? And I said, well, Geppetto, this woman has taken more than $100 and something thousand from me and keeps saying tomorrow. It's like, wow, she just doesn't know how to do business. Yeah, she has a contract, we have it in together, I'm here to save the day. And he just openly told me she's pregnant for me. And I was in shock. And he said, well, yeah, she's gonna have my baby. It's Jon Walsh's grandchild, and I'm not gonna let that child be in foster care. So I'm gonna do everything in my power to get you to get your money. She's stressed out, she's suicidal, and in fact, we're just basically kicked out of Juanita's house, and I'm gonna take care of it. I'm taking over from here. And that was another character he played to get money from me. So I'm very excited. He came to help me. He's talking a good game, and I just thought he was going to help me. He was using the Trump / Michael Jackson friendship to his advantage. So he called himself MAGA Jackson at the time. And he was deep into getting support from the Trump followers and the Jackson followers at the same time. So that was a lot of victims at his disposal. So he literally basically was taking trips to all the MAGA campaigns. He was going to all the conventions. At the same time he was scamming me, he was scamming a whole lot of other people. There was a lot of victims at his disposal. So there was a guy that he scammed of $140,000. His name is Trent Lizzie, and he met him at a Trump convention or a Trump event, and again told him he could get him into seeing Trump and scammed him of that money. While he was scamming him, he was trying to make me feel like Trent's money was gonna pay me, but I never saw a dime. He did cameos with Rudy Giuliani, right? He did cameos with Trump Jr. He did cameos with all kinds of people. Took a lot of pictures, fake pictures in front of the Trump Towers. And then he finally told me, at that point, the money had come to a point where I was borrowing money, taking money from my credit cards. He actually started spending on my credit cards, saying he got a job with Trump and Trump Jr., and he was going to sing in all the rallies. He was hired as the MAGA artist, and he wanted to buy costumes and equipment and everything. And at this time I was so desperate to get my money back, but I had to involve my husband. So he FaceTimed me, my husband, my children, pretty much telling us a lie. And we were here and thinking that he would pay us back our money. All we wanted was our money. But every time he would say, if you don't give me this, then everything you have given me in the past is wasted. And he just continued to take our money. And when I look back, all he used the money was to stay in hotels, strippers, use them with strippers, and just buy fancy clothes and gold chains.
Hey, yo, I better see everybody doing the Trump dance on TikTok, man. Yeah. Me and MAGA Jackson killing it now, man. I told y'all, this was easy, man. Let me see you get sturdy. Whoa. Let me see midterms, we taking it over. Trump dance, better break your shoulders. We making it rock, we taking it straight to the top. Ain't no way we gonna flop. Let me see you do the Trump dance.
After being hired by Trump, he said Trump was he sent us a fake letter. So he forged Trump's signature, and I have the letter where the letter says that he was hired as the Trump MAGA artist, and he pretty much was going to be singing all the songs, and Janet Jackson or Michael Jackson would be proud of him. I mean, the guy is so delusional, and sent it to me and my husband and says they're going to pay him millions of dollars by February 28th. So that's where February 28th came and passed. He said, well, they paid him the money, but he doesn't have a bank account, he doesn't have a passport. But at that point I was done. I was totally done, because social services had come to our house, because they just thought there was a lot of transactions that were happening illegally. Police officer had come to our house. I mean, I'm a psych nurse practitioner. I don't have anything on my record. My husband is retired military, and he robbed us so fast that it got the attention of authority. So I said to myself, and I prayed, and I said, God, by my birthday, March 11, 2022, I want you to reveal to me if this is a scam or not. And he did. So on my birthday, the first thing I see, I open Facebook, and it's a post from a lady who happens to be one of his victims, and she's still my very good friend till this day. She said, if anyone has given money to Andre Vann, please contact me, he's a scammer. And my heart literally dropped into my stomach, and it was on my birthday, like I asked in prayer. So the journey has been wild since then. So it just kept going on. We have Juanita on one end saying, look, I'm his producer, he has done music. If he doesn't pay you, I'll pay you. We even have his mother calling me and saying, yes, he does have a deal. I became very depressed, even suicidal, I'm gonna say it. I've never felt suicidal in my life, but I felt like I didn't want to be here anymore, because I was so sad. I had disappointed my whole family, and he just kept going. Let's just say the last 3 years, I reported to the police. They just laughed at us. It was too much for them. So I closed the case because I was so depressed. At the time I was in MP school, so much going on. My sister was in RN school, so it was just me doing a lot of things. So shortly after I found out he was a scammer, he violated probation for a wrong address, for not giving his change of address, and he went to jail for 4 months. In those 4 months he was in jail, it was like a sense of relief. So we rally around, victim upon victim. I start speaking on Facebook, and somehow I got to be the contact person. I don't really know how that happened, but except for the fact that I don't shut up when I have to speak. And so he comes out of jail, continues to scam people. We keep trying to fight him. It was almost right in our eyes, more and more and more victims. And then he goes back to jail for traveling out of state without telling his probation officer, and he stays about 6 to 8 months. When he comes out, I think it was in 2023, the judge ordered him to go to a rehab to learn how to work. In good old Andre fashion, he took that to his advantage. He rallied around and said he was going because he was a sex addict, a drug addict. He wanted to change his life. He doesn't even do drugs. And so people started supporting him. he went on a GoFundMe and asked for $250,000. He got about $20,000 to $25,000 from the GoFundMe. He contacted me. He said he was sorry. He was going to pay me my money. He had met Jesus in rehab. He goes to church 3 days a week, and even I forgave him. But he hadn't changed at all. So while he was in rehab, he started singing music, but he's singing all these songs and paying people. He basically paying his way up and acting like he's on the billboards and scamming the heck out of people. At this point, on the other side, he had a child with Meghan, and the child is in foster care as we speak. He made a lot of money from that child, asking for money for lawyers. He was going to bring her home. He had no intentions of bringing that child home. So pretty much still scamming people.
So he was still saying that Meghan was a real person?
No, Meghan is a real person.
Oh, so Meghan is a real person?
Yes, Meghan is a real person. So when he was scamming me as Meghan, they were actually dated. It was a very short romance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she actually was pregnant. So he scammed me on real life events. So that's why it took so long. Meghan was pregnant. Meghan did have 3 other children that were going to be her father was taking custody of them. So it was true. But what he did was create an account in her name and was using her story to scam a lot of people of money. Now, I don't know to what extent Meghan was involved. I know he gave her a lot of money, but I don't think, my personal opinion, I don't think that she knew exactly what he was doing, because he's done this to more than her, to many other women. After he left rehab, we got more victims, and at that point I just knew this man was not going to change. So I ordered him to pay me my money by January of 2024. He said he would pay me. He was acting very excited, and then when January came, he paid me $200, and we continued to have victims. So I said enough is enough. So I took him to civil court, and we're in court right now. It's June, we're in court right now, and I don't know. Well, we went to court June 14th, and when we went to court, the judge said he believed that Andre had stolen a lot of money from me, and Andre should be arrested. But we have to continue court. I have to get me a lawyer and continue the case. And some other things we're doing, we created a non-profit LLC called Surviving Andre. I have a team of women, 7 strong women, all victims, and 2 strong men who support us in our cause. And we had a stroke of luck where we found out that somehow the Jackson got wind of what he was doing, and at the same time they were coming to Virginia to sing. And yesterday they came to Virginia, Portsmouth, Virginia. So I found out they were coming, and me and my team just rallied into action, and with the help of their brother, they call him brother, but he's like their family friend of 50-something years, Gordy Love. With his help, we reached out to him, and he was able to set a meeting for me and my husband to meet the Jacksons yesterday. So we went to the concert, and we met them after the concert, and they were extremely shocked that this guy has used their name for almost 20 years to scam people of millions of dollars. It was victory for all his victims, for my team, for all the people who have helped, all the well-wishers. So we basically gave him some evidence and told him we have evidence that can make a movie. Now this just happened yesterday, so we're going to see what God has in store. And they're very upset. They're very upset. And they said they're going to take some action. I don't know what kind of action, but what they told me and my husband was they were going to put on their website publicly denouncing him from the family. He is not a part of their family. Well, sometimes I look and I ask God, why did this happen? And now I know why it happened. Andre has been doing this for 20 years and he victimized women, especially children, to a point where there was no hope. And when he crossed paths with me, the one thing that I know he did not know about me was my resilience. He thought he had left me for dead, but no. One thing I'm going to say to people is if Andre Vann has ever crossed your path, please reach out to Surviving Andre team. We are on Facebook. My name is Nkesa Williams Hayes. I go on Facebook and I talk about him a lot. My profile is NK Patriot Hayes. Reach out to us. Don't be scared. We are going to make sure that we get the justice we need. And I would say the best is yet to come.